Okay, so let's talk about this whole falling in love thing. We all kind of think we know the script, don't we? Like from movies.
Yeah, the classic trope is often the woman getting swept off her feet first.
Exactly. But what if that's not quite right? What if the actual research, flips the script?
Well, that's what's so interesting here. The assumptions we carry around might actually be, well, off. Today we're diving into some psychological studies that ask that very question. Who falls in love faster, men or women?
Right. And we've been looking into some stuff from the Journal of Social Psychology, particularly, and honestly, the first look at the data is pretty surprising.
It really is.
And our aim here isn't just like who says I love you first, but why, and does that initial speed even matter in the long run?
So let's get right to it then. That surprising finding. Research generally suggests it's actually men who tend to fall in love more quickly than women.
Seriously? Okay, wow. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, the studies we mentioned, they indicate men often think about expressing love earlier and, well, they actually do it sooner in the relationship.
Huh. Okay, so why? What's driving that, according to the research?
Well, a few ideas pop up. One big one seems to be the visual component. That strong initial physical attraction. For some men, that can apparently trigger those falling in love feelings really fast, almost like a switch.
Okay, so a strong visual can kickstart it. Makes sense in a way.
Yeah, perhaps activating those romantic circuits quicker. Maybe an evolutionary echo, who knows? Hard to say definitively.
And what about being less cautious? Is that part of it too?
That's another theory floating around. That maybe, just maybe, men are sometimes less emotionally reserved in those very early stages.
So they just dive in quicker.
Possibly embrace those initial intense feelings without as much deliberation, let's say, compared to women often.
Okay, but does that connect to like societal pressure? Men being expected to make the first move, be assertive. Did the studies look at that?
That's a great point. The specific studies we focused on were more about self-reported feelings, the timing. But yeah, those broader social scripts, they almost certainly play some role in how and when people feel comfortable expressing things.
Right.
And for women, the research suggests a different initial focus. Often it's more about checking for long-term potential.
Like compatibility and feeling safe.
Exactly. Emotional safety, trust, shared values, signs of reliability. Building that foundation seems to be prioritized.
Which makes total sense. It's definitely not about being less romantic. Not at all.
No, absolutely not. It's just maybe a different process, more gradual.
So it takes a bit longer for those feelings to really cement.
But the research also indicates that when women do reach that point of falling in love, the connection tends to be incredibly deep, really profound and committed.
So slower burn maybe, but deeper roots.
Precisely. That timeline doesn't necessarily map onto intensity or, how long it lasts. A slower buildup can lead to something really strong and resilient.
Okay, this is crucial though, and we need to make sure you get this. We're talking trends here, general patterns in studies.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't some universal law like gravity. Not every man or every woman fits this mold.
No way. Human emotion is just way too messy and personal for that.
Exactly. Gender is only one factor. Your own personality, your past relationships, your culture, all of that shapes how you experience falling in love. Massively.
It's so true. There's no gold medal for falling first.
Not at all. And no wrong way or wrong speed either. It's your journey.
Yeah.
And that's really key. How fast someone feels those initial sparks doesn't really tell you much about the quality or the future of the relationship.
Right. A quick flame versus a slow burning fire. Both give warmth.
Well put. That slow ember might even provide more sustained warmth in the long run.
Okay, so wrapping this up. The big takeaway, surprisingly, is that science currently suggests men might feel those first pangs of love faster.
Yeah, initially. While women often seem to build towards a love that might develop more gradually, but becomes deeply rooted, often focusing on that trust and compatibility aspect.
But the real bottom line.
Love is just unpredictable. It's unique to every single person and every single couple. There's no formula, no set timeline.
Definitely makes you think, doesn't it? So consider your own life, maybe what you've seen. Does any of this resonate? And what else beyond gender do you think really shapes how fast or how deep we fall? Something to mull over.